Hey, everybody, this is Justin Chamness, realestatewholesalerclub.com. We're all about helping you get to that first deal, maybe that next deal paycheck. Maybe you're in a slump, or maybe you're just trying to get started. It doesn't matter. Either way, we love to help you. This is our Saturday edition of the Shut Up Money Show. All right there, the Shut Up Money Show. It is a public Q&A. If you want to join in with us, you can. We do this every single Saturday. We do it every week. I thought maybe I would take the Saturday off after Thanksgiving, but no, I'm going to forge ahead. I just can't. I can't say no. I'm just like, I should take time off. I ought to take time off. Everybody want to take time off. Nah, let's not take time off. You don't want to work for a guy like me. I love working. And what is it about it? I didn't used to be that guy. I did not used to be the guy that loved working. No. But when you find something that makes money and you can get freedom out of it, I think it makes a big difference. Everything that I had before was a job. Everybody knows what that's like. You get your first job in high school. My first job in high school was actually working for Fred's Sign Service. I was one of the lucky ones. See, I didn't have to work at McDonald's or Wendy's or back then it was Lee's Famous Recipe chicken joint. That's where my brother worked. For those of you who don't know what Lee's Famous Recipe is, it's kind of like KFC. They have their own secret ingredients for the batter and their fried chicken. That's where my brother worked. But I worked at Fred's Sign Service learning how to paint. That was the first taste of misery for me. I'm not a painter. I thought this guy, I got a job at Fred's Sign Service. I thought he would teach me how to make signs, paint signs and be an artist. But actually, he handed me a big 12-inch roller and a 5-gallon bucket of white paint. And he said, okay, paint the outside of my building. That's what I did all summer long. It was great. First taste of misery. And every job I had since then was just equally as bad. Okay. Good people, bad deal. Bad deal for me. But when I found real estate investing, we call it real estate wholesaling a lot. It's real estate investing. When I found that, it not only allowed me to make money, but allowed me to get that freedom that I wanted. I hated working for the job. I hated working for the man. We have a special guest here. Before I introduce him, let me welcome everybody that watches, everybody that's participating out there in YouTube, Periscope, Facebook land, wherever you may be. Welcome. I'm Justin Chamness. You can check us out more at realestatewholesalerclub.com. And we're here to help you today. If you got questions, you got problems, situations, deals you want to talk about, something's going on, what's jumping off in your business, today is for you. Okay, this is not a private VIP thing. This is a we want to help you kind of thing. And nobody better for that task than our guest today. Our guest today is Zach Ginn. Zach, can you hear me? Unmute yourself, man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on, dude?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing great.
All right, sweet.
So, where are you at in the country?
I'm in Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Florida, is it nice weather out there today?
Oh, yeah. Is it like 74, 73? I'm good to go.
That's great, man. I don't know if he looks familiar to you, but he should. This young man is tearing it up on YouTube. He's tearing it up on social media. He's putting out, when I say tearing it up, I mean he's putting out a lot of great, valuable content. Okay? And he doesn't charge anything for that. That's what's so great about Zach. And Zach's got a great story. I want to share with you. I'll just open up the floor and let you take over, Zach, and just talk a little bit about who you are, what you do, where you came from, what your life is like.
Yeah.
Who are you, Zach? Tell us.
Yeah. So my name is Zach Ginn. I'm a 21-year-old real estate wholesaler, investor, lease optioner. I don't know the term for that. Creative finance junkie. Anything real estate investing. That's what I absolutely love to do. That's really it. I mean, I'm the top wholesaler in my market. I'm partnered up with Rick Ginn. We do Flip with Rick here, and we just like to help people out for free. So that's really it. That's all I want to do is just help.
So when did you get started? I read a little bit about your story just so I could see the official version, but at flipwithrick.com, by the way, everybody, you can read the story too. Go to flipwithrick.com. But when did you get started and how did that happen for you?
Yeah. So my dad he's a Rick Ginn. He created the handwritten postcard system. He's been a real estate wholesaler investor for like 17, 18 years now. And I basically, since I was born, he's been a real estate investor. So I never really knew what he did at all. And I kind of just ignored it. I was going through school. I was in high school. I was doing my own thing. So at the age of 14, I don't know how far back I want to go here, but at the age of 14, I got my first job. You know, I had to pay for dates, a car, things like that. So I was a bag boy at my local.
Wait a minute. You had your first date at 14?
Yeah.
Man,
I had some spending money.
I wasn't that good. Yeah, I wasn't that good, man.
But yeah, and I knew I had to save up for a car. I had to get all that fun stuff. So I just the first thing I could do is just be a bag boy at my local grocery store. So just started minimum wage job, scrubbing toilets and being a bag boy. I did that for 3 entire years. 3 years. I was a bag boy, and at the end of that, I was so sick of it. So about when I was 17 years old, I remember my manager, I can specifically remember this moment. She came to me and said I had to scrub like feces off a toilet. And I said, no, I'm not doing that. And she said, you're like my employee. You're going to do what I say. And I had to do it. And I remember telling myself, like, I'm never doing this for the rest of my life. Like, I know what the managers make. They made like $80K a year, like the top guys. And that's it. They work 70 hours a week. They hated their lives.
Yeah.
I knew this couldn't be my life. And
right.
I came home one day and my dad had a $30,000 wholesale check got from one wholesale deal on his desk. And I just remember my mind being blown by seeing that. And I was like, I got to learn how to do this. So at 17, I was still doing my bag boy job just because I had gas money, stuff like that. I bought a car and I was like, Dad, can you teach me like this wholesaling stuff? Like teach me how to do this, because I want to do it. He said, no. I was like, what do you mean no? And he said, if you want it bad enough, you'll just learn it yourself. Like do it yourself. And I was shocked by that. And what he really meant by that was, he's like, if I really am dedicated enough to do it, I'll learn it myself, because experience is always the best teacher, not having someone hand it to you. So
sure.
At 17, I didn't know exactly what to do. I went on YouTube and I just started learning a bunch of videos from there. I grabbed some books from my dad's bookshelf and I just started reading like maybe 2 books a week. I was reading on just wholesaling. There's Ron LeGrand books. There's all these different crazy books everywhere. I was learning all this stuff and I decided I had $300 in my bank account. I didn't have much marketing to do. I couldn't do direct mail. I couldn't do anything. And I figured out the only thing I could basically do was do bandit signs. So I spent every dollar I had in my bank account at the time buying that set of bandit signs. I've kept only one. So I bought, I think about 150. I kept one for myself as a reminder. And I keep it here behind me just to remind me of how I started. This was 4 years ago, guys. So I put 150 bandit signs out. Now, at the time, I was a big high school wrestler. So that's what I loved. I was captain my team. Like I was all into it. Like I think I was pretty good. So in high school, I would just go to my local high school wrestling tournaments in the summer. And so at 17 during the summer there, I literally just started sticking bandit signs outside the high schools and the areas that I was doing high school wrestling. So I ended up doing that and I kept getting a bunch of calls. And I remember specifically once in high school. So I started getting calls from the bandit sign, and the lady that called me, she told me, hey, I'm looking to sell my property. And I said, okay. And I took the call during high school. It was my first bandit sign call. I got super excited for it. And she basically told me, She's looking to sell her property. I got kicked out of my high school class because I saw the phone call from the bandit sign. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting a phone call from this bandit sign. Got kicked out of class. I went outside my car, answered the phone call from this lady. Ended up not really being a deal there, but it was my first call from the bandit sign. I got excited. And then next couple of days, I got a call from a guy, and he was like, I'm just looking to get rid of my property. You know, I lost my job. I'm looking to relocate near family. Like,
Wow.
And I was 17 at the time. And I was like, can I meet you at like 1 o'clock today? And he's like, yeah, fine. And so I skipped class. I actually went home. I looked up free real estate wholesaling contract. I printed it out, and I was literally running out the door, and my dad's like, you should be in school. What are you doing? He's like, I was going on a real estate appointment. This guy needs to sell his property. I gotta go. He's like, he said, Zach, you know, you can't go on that appointment, right? I'm like, yes, I can. And he said, you're 17 in Florida. You legally can't like wholesale real estate. I'm like, what do you mean? I got this appointment in like 30 minutes. I got to go. It's like 10 minutes away. And he's like, let me go with you. Let me sign the contract for you. Cause at 17, you legally can't do it. The title company won't give you a wholesale check because it's illegal for minors to be in bilateral like real estate contracts. So he went there with me, and I walk up to the guy, and I'm like, hey, my name's Zach. This is my dad, Rick. And he shook his hand, and my dad he said 2 words the whole time. He said hi and bye.
Great.
He went mute on me. It was so weird. Like he was just behind, like he didn't say, it was like, hey, is this your company? He didn't say a thing. I had to talk the whole time. And basically, long story short, I go to I go look at it. The house is a complete mess. I don't know a thing about real estate. Oh my gosh, there's brown spots on the roof, and I didn't know what that was. I thought that was paint, even though it was a big roof leak. I didn't know a thing. And the only thing I learned about real estate books is you just don't say the price first. So at the end of it, with a squeaky 17-year-old voice, my voice has deepened a lot in 4 years, but in a squeaky voice, I was like, how much do you need to sell the house for? And he's like, well, and then he was just thinking about it. And I knew I could sell this property for $90,000. That's literally what I knew. I was like, you know what? The comps are showing 100. I can sell this to a cash buyer for 90. He literally goes to me, and he's like, well, about 60,000. I think I need to sell this thing for. And I was screaming in the inside. I was like internally crying. I was shaking. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I was about to shake my hand. Like, okay, yes. And he basically told me, he's like, and then I said, can you do 50? And then we shook at 50, signed a contract at 50.
Oh my God.
I ended up selling that deal to a cash buyer. I literally found from a white bandit sign. I put 3-2 CBS house for sale, cash only. Found a cash buyer, made $25,000 my whole wholesale check fee. Ended up turning 18, and I started just wholesaling by myself in high school. By graduation time, which I think was 2018, I believe. 2017. When I graduated high school, I made about $100,000 in wholesale fees, and the rest is history. Started scaling up from there. Went to college, started virtually wholesaling from school for about 6 months. Came back, took my classes online, and I just started going even crazier with my wholesaling. Started cold calling, texting, like everything you could think of. And Rick basically told me, he's like, Zach, like we're cannibalizing each other in this market. Why don't we join forces? And we kind of joined forces about 1.5 years ago. And we run the biggest operations on the Treasure Coast here in Florida. That's my story.
Yeah, we got a lot of, that's a great story. We got a lot of people in the Real Estate Wholesalers Club here from Florida, and some even from Port St. Lucie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Probably no.
You probably do. And they probably need to go cover their face in shame because they've been giving themselves all these excuses why it's not a good area to do it in.
It's the best. Kidding me?
Yeah, the best. You said, tell us why it's the best, man.
Well, because I get people I talk to on my YouTube. They're like, I'm in San Diego. What do I do? And I just shake my head sometimes. I'm like, dude, this is rough, man. You got to learn some virtual wholesaling. So Port St. Lucie is amazing. It's definitely an older area, and there's a lot of good properties there. So I don't know if it's the area that's perfect or just me, but I know multiple people making 7 figures a year in wholesale fees and profits in Port St. Lucie.
Yeah.
And it's not a big team. It's like 2 people most, and they kill it out there. So I don't know why it's so good. I just think the people are good there. The prices are actually pretty stable. They run from about 100 grand to 300 grand at max, and you can make pretty easy profits. Our average deal now is about $35,000, and our average wholesale deal is about 20. We do a lot of wholesaling where we're at, and because Rick owns a real estate brokerage, we basically don't pay much in real estate commission, so we just buy the property, put it on the market, do no rehab to it, and 35K is our average deal.
Boom, boom. You know, one of the best parts of the story, what I hear is Rick took you to the restaurant. Was that where'd you meet the guy at?
At his house.
At his house.
Of course.
But then he didn't say anything. I mean, what an awesome coach that is.
It makes it worse. I'd rather him not be there at all. See, high and by, it just makes things like weird.
I see what you're saying, but it's beautiful that he put the pressure on you. And what's even more beautiful is that you rose to the occasion, dude. I mean, that's I think what most of us lack is the fear robs us of just rising to the moment. And
sure makes diamonds.
You know, what was the question you asked him about the money? What was the closing question again?
I didn't know a thing. I was like, my closings are way better now, but it's just like, hey, how much do you need to sell this house for?
Yeah, in a squeaky voice, right? Yeah,
it was in a very squeaky voice. Yeah, it was bad,
and yet it worked, right? Yeah, I mean, it's a great story, man. Super good story. But another thing, when you got your first deal, you popped a big check, and then you came back to the table and had to develop some systems. Right. So now you talked about now, instead of just bandit signs, because that's all you could afford, that's where you started, but then you developed some systems, and now you're doing texting and doing some other things too. What all are you doing, and how did you begin to develop a process so that you're not just one of those flash in the pan, one and done, kind of can never figure out how to get a second deal guys? You know, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I've been a one and done guy for 4 years now. So I've been one and done every single week for 4 years. So I mean, that's the way I look at it. I mean, hey, this wholesaling stuff could go away maybe, but I mean, Rick's been doing it 18 years. I've been doing it for 4. I don't see it changing. And if they make wholesaling illegal, I'm still making a lot of money. So I don't even care. Yeah. We're a little different now. I don't like to compare myself to any new wholesalers because we send tens of thousands of texts like every month. I also send tens of thousands of postcards every month. We do a lot of other creative stuff, cold calling, things like that. I mean, I don't like to compare because our marketing budget is insane compared to a regular wholesaler where I was starting out.
Okay, so when you get leads, so you spend money to market, and you do texting, you do some direct mail, you know, I'm sure you probably still do bandit signs and a number of other avenues. But when you get people that call in, are you and Rick, or just you, or you have a virtual assistant kind of pre-screening leads, or what's your process look like?
Yeah. So first of all, bandit signs are completely dead where I'm at in my market.
Okay.
I used to send 50 out a week. I had a whole team doing it for me. And code enforcement, only because of me, I know this for a fact. They had a meeting. They showed my bandit signs out. They said, we got to stop these people. They're getting really bad.
Yeah.
50 a week. And just imagine half of those stick for 2-3 weeks at a time. So it gets really bad. So they started hiring, like, I was responsible for 3 hires on code compliance, and all they do is pick up signs. So you can't do it anymore in my market.
You're giving people opportunities for work, you know?
I know. I'm a job creator. But when it comes to my systems, it's pretty good. So Rick's out of the business. Well, I mean, he's in the business, but like he doesn't do he doesn't touch operations for at least a year and a half. So it's basically me and our team. So we have an acquisitions guy. We got some VAs. We keep it very lean. We do our local market here, which is about 4 or 5 counties. And then we do about 4 to 5 virtual wholesaling markets too. So acquisitions guy deals mostly with the virtual wholesaling markets. He'll deal with some of the ones here, and then I'll go on the big fat appointments. So if I go to a house, I need to make at least 40K. And that's kind of how my week's structured out. And then I do a lot of the YouTube stuff, a lot of other stuff, but really it's a lean business. I don't have 10 acquisitions guys. I don't have 30 cold callers in a big office. We keep it extremely lean, but the way we do our business is very profitable. And when a market downturn happens, we'll do pretty well.
Yeah. It sounds like you've got a good machine that you built. I talk about it like having your own factory, and in a factory, you got to have certain machines that do certain things, right? And one is maybe it's a data machine, you might refer to it, and it gets data from PropStream or from where do you get your data from, Zach?
So we mix it up with PropStream and ListSource. Again, we get like, I don't even want to say the pricing we get on ListSource. So you guys can't get it. We're grandfathered in, but we get a really good price on ListSource. And then I basically tell everyone to use PropStream. I kind of mix it up on the both. Again, I'll pull like pre-foreclosures, vacant data from PropStream, and then I'll do some of the high equity stuff with ListSource. It's all dependent. I mean, tomato.
Yeah, you got a lead gen machine, and it does, in this case, it's a pretty complex or maybe multi-platform. You've got direct mail, you've got texting, you've got some other marketing avenues that you use on a regular, consistent basis. That's what this machine does. And then you have an acquisitions manager, it sounds like, that works with some of the virtual leads and closing those deals.
Yep.
Are you handling the ones locally?
I'm dealing with a lot of okay. So yeah, mostly the ones locally I'm dealing with myself, just because our average deal is 35 to 40K. And we sometimes just got to get our best closer out there. Again,
Sure.
If we get him, he'll probably make 25, 30. When you're doing multiple deals a month like that, it's better for me just to go there. Again, I'm transitioning, getting more people in, me kind of getting out of the business just because I have a lot of other stuff I can do. But yeah, right now that's kind of where it's at. And we're just trying to scale it a little more. The virtual wholesaling stuff's amazing. In our business personally, again, a lot of people can't relate to this. The reason why I'm kind of getting more people, why we're getting less lean, is because I'm just getting sent deals, like JV deals from our YouTube subscribers like crazy. So I'm just throwing more and more leads at my virtual guy, and I probably gotta get more people going right now. But we're doing pretty well with that too. So it's slowly creeping up to our third best lead gen like source right now is like referrals. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn more and more. We're probably gonna have to get some more virtual wholesaling like acquisitions guys in the future though.
Yeah. Man, I'm glad you said that, because I've mentioned that a few times and nobody takes me up on it. And what it is that the YouTube thing, just making a 3-minute, 5-minute video once a day. And I know that sounds like a lot, but it's not. It's not. It doesn't have to be edited. It doesn't have to be polished or anything like Zach's channel. Don't have to have backgrounds or anything like this one. Okay. It could just be you. But that right there gets you, it really helps with your SEO. And when people are looking for deals, plus, looking to sell deals, also it helps with people like that watch and they call you and they want a JV. This is what he's talking about, right? So how many videos do you have right now, Zach?
I think 180, but it's going to be pushed pretty crazy. We're doing one video a day for the rest of 2020. I want to check how the analytics work on that, but it's going to be a push. I got half of them already done. So we're going to see. It's a mix of live and polished stuff. I just try to help. That's all I'm doing. I don't expect anything.
Yeah, I agree. You've got some polished stuff on there. You've got some live stuff on there I've seen too. And it doesn't matter, guys, if you're out there listening, and gals, this is what really truly, it's a little bit of a long game, but not that long. Okay. It's kind of a mid game, because if you did this regularly for a year or two, dude, it's crazy. I've only been doing it for a couple of years, and it's insane. I'm having the same results that you're having, Zach. I mean,
I had 40 subscribers 365 days from today.
Yeah. How many you got
30.
now? How many?
2,200.
There you go.
And then 800 on my other one. So it's like, you can get it going in a year.
Yeah. And okay, but people are like, what do I talk about? What shit. I still don't know what to talk about. I just get up there and start talking.
I can talk about wholesaling 5 hours a day, every single day, and it won't be the same. It's so complex. I can talk about it forever. I just love it. That's kind of why I just love wholesaling and talking about it and helping people. So I guess if it's something you have a passion of, you can always go and share it. But that's why it drives me. Like I have fun doing it.
Yeah. And I get so much out of it too, personally. Like it makes me sharper. Do you experience that too? Makes you sharper doing something consistent like that, creating content of any whatever topic.
Yeah. I mean, I guess so. I mean, I'm always sharper going on deals. I kind of challenged myself. I'm making another video. I got another JV deal a guy sent to me, a little crack house. He sent it to me. The thing is demolished. The roof's terrible. It's absolutely wretched, the property. And I was going to make under 10 grand on a wholesale. And I usually don't even like those deals. I just hand it off to my other guy. But I said to myself, since a subscriber actually like trusted to give it to me, he's from all the way in the West Coast. I'm like, you know what? Let me go try this. So I ended up making about $7,000 on a wholesale check on it. I just did it to challenge myself to like prove to people, like even like these terrible, like drugged out houses, they're terrible. There's needles everywhere. Like you still make money off of them. So it's more of a challenge for myself and to prove that I still got it when it comes to those like tinier deals. It's a fun challenge. I enjoy it.
It's great. Yeah, it's great. There's so much opportunity out there. So much opportunity. And you've taken advantage of it, man. I want to congratulate you. You have an incredible story. You're a remarkable individual. What do you think is going to be if we had the same conversation 36 months from now? What has to happen for Zach in order for Zach to feel like you did what you wanted to do and accomplished? You were successful. I mean, obviously you're successful. I'm not saying that. I'm saying in the next 3 years, where are you going with this? What's the next thing for Zach?
Like what?
Yeah, wholesaling, coaching, all of this.
I'm not a guru. So I technically I could say coach. Again, I don't sell anything. I don't like to sell anything. Rick sells stuff. Obviously he does, but like I don't really do it. Just kind of not who I am. Again, the big reason why I do everything for free is because when I started 3 years ago, well, 4 years ago, basically, there was nobody like giving out information for free. Nobody.
Right.
Like back then, 4 years ago, it's like, you pay me 10 grand, you go do it. And I'm like, so you're not going to help me with cold calling? Like, can I have a cold calling script? No, pay me 10 grand, like for my mastermind to do it. I'm like, I told myself, like, if I ever get like make 6 figures a year, and this is like when I was 17, like when I first started, I'm like, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to give it out for free. I don't even care. If you read The Go-Giver, it's an amazing book. I recommend everyone go read it. It'll change your life.
I got it right over here. Yeah.
The more you give, the more you receive. But when you give, don't expect anything back. But you will know that it will come back to you 100 times over. So where I want to see myself in 3 years, obviously, I would love to expand my virtual wholesaling market, always make more money. That's always the goal. Again, the goal isn't to make like an extra couple zeros. I mean, it's cool, but like, what are you going to do with that? Again, it's the
That's
freedom.
what I say too. I say that all the time too. I'm like, what the hell do I need 50 deals a month for?
Oh, I love to do 50 deals a month. I could do that, but I want to be happy doing what I do. I like helping people out. Again, I don't ever want to retire. So I want to be 90 years old. So, talking to sellers and getting deals just to help people out. But in 3 years, just expand the virtual wholesaling stuff more and more, help more people get into the real estate business, and to stop these gurus from charging people an insane amount of money, taking out credit card lines and HELOCs on their properties to go do masterminds. I just give out for free, use that money for marketing. I don't give me anything back. Just give me a thank you, I guess. And if I could help more people, that's honestly the goal for wholesaling. Always, maybe scale up, feed some more families in my business. And that's it. I'm honestly just having a blast doing what I do. So maybe if I decide, hey, this isn't fun anymore, maybe I won't, but I'm absolutely having a blast. I'm like a professional video game player. Like I'm just in my element all the time. This is like a game for me. I enjoy it.
Do you actually play video games too?
I used to. I kind of stopped. I was like, this real life stuff's way more fun.
Yeah.
So not really anymore.
What do you do for fun? outside of real estate?
Yeah. I mean, I hang out with friends. I watch a lot of football. I still go see all my friends in college, like maybe once a month or every other month. I don't know. I do a lot of stuff, fishing, hunting. Um, that's really it. Like
Yeah.
I watch a lot of maybe some Netflix stuff, but like, I don't know. I mean, just hang out with friends, I guess.
Yeah.
I think a 20-year-old kid does.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. Man, I'm jealous. I wish I could go back in time and smack myself and say, listen here, man, stop screwing off too much. Okay. I don't know if I'd have listened, but probably
That's the
not.
problem.
Yeah. What, not listening?
Yeah, most people, like, you can give them the tools to succeed, like in wholesaling. Like
Yeah.
in my Facebook and all of my like groups and all of my like content, I can give you the keys to the kingdom. Are you actually going to take that key out and unlock the door? Most people won't. You can give them. You can give everyone the ability to success. Is actually doing it. It's like giving someone a basketball and a hoop. You can be Michael Jordan. You're just going to have to do the action in it, and most people won't do the action what it takes to become successful.
So true. So I wonder what sets apart, I mean, what makes that guy different? What makes you different that you were willing to rise to the occasion?
Yeah, I used to. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I used to cold call 5 hours a day in my dorm room every single day in college for about 6 months. And the only thing that got me through that is, first of all, I knew there was a $15,000 check at the end of that call. So I kept going after that. And I just had a little chip on my shoulder knowing if I don't do this, then I'll be scrubbing toilets. And that kind of got me over it. I don't want to live the life working 70 hours a week, no weekends. I would just have the freedom. If I ever have kids, do you want to be that dad working 70 hours a week, miserable, doesn't have any freedom, stressed, can't spend time with their family? It's like, that life's scary. And there's more risks doing that than risks into wholesaling and becoming an entrepreneur, in my opinion.
Oh my gosh. Well said, man. Well said. Yeah. A lot more risk to it than you think, collecting a check every other Friday. Yeah. That's the truth. I have a similar story. I started out talking this hour with a topic of having a crappy job when we've all had one, I had one. I was a janitor one time, and man, I had the same experience. So they came and got me, and they said, you need to go to the bathroom and clean it because there's been somebody in there finger painting. They wasn't kidding. They wasn't kidding. Finger paint, man. I tell you what, I'm thankful for that now, because like you, all of that gave me this burning, intense hatred for my lack of freedom. And the only answer logically for me was to be an entrepreneur. And the only logical entrepreneurial adventure that made any sense for my broke ass was real estate. And thank God there were some infomercials. Yeah. So, wherever you're at out there, everybody, doesn't matter. We've all seen that. We've also seen that cocoa on the toilet, and we've all been asked to clean it off for somebody else. I tell you what, it's not fun. We've all had those bad jobs, and you may be stuck in one now, but the choice to stay stuck is up to who? I think it's up to you, right? Are there any questions here? Let's open the floor and have a little Q&A time. Is there any questions or anything? Is that cool if we let people just respond and ask questions, Zach? Anything? I don't know what they'll be, man. It might be.
I used to do a Q&A on my YouTube. The longest Q&A I've done was 3.5 hours. I can go all day talking about wholesaling. I don't care.
If you guys want to know how to crack your local market or a virtual market, Zach is a professional wholesaler. Okay. This is not some guy that just started yesterday. He has a strong experience here. Okay. So any questions, he'll be more than capable. So what's some good questions? Anybody have any questions about your local market or a deal that's popping off? Anything?
I got a question.
Yeah,
It's
go ahead.
LaShonda.
Yeah, LaShonda.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You like for people to turn their camera on. How it is on Saturday. So,
That's
but
all right.
I am I'm studying. I want to do it virtual. You know our situation here in KC, so I want to do it virtual. And my question is, how do you choose a market?
Yeah. Do you want to answer that or me?
Yes,
No,
you.
go for
Oh
it,
yeah.
Zach.
So I'm actually releasing a video on this. So I've done a lot of hacks on finding the perfect virtual markets. And honestly, this is a little cheesy and bad, but this is what I'm going to do, LaShonda. So LaShonda, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So I want you to go to the top 3 Facebook groups that you can find when it comes to wholesaling. And then I want you to search a virtual deal. After that, I want you to go find, because honestly, in this business, once someone gets a check, they got a little bit of ego. They want to brag about the check. So what they're going to do with these big groups, they're going to post like, hey, in Charlotte, North Carolina, I just made $25,000 on this virtual deal. Go give me likes and praise. Come on. And then I see that and I'm like, oh, so you're making $25,000 in Charlotte, North Carolina, a virtual deal. I'm gonna write that down. And then I see other markets and I'm like, oh my gosh, and then I look it up. I'm like, there's like a lot of cash buyers here. This guy's making like $100K a year virtual wholesale. He's just bragging about it. I'm like, so that's how I found maybe 80% of my virtual market is just people bragging about it. And then I go to list source. You do the list source zip code hack on there. If you guys know what that is, I think Justin does.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Find the top zip codes in that market and start hammering.
Okay.
You just feed off of people's egos to make money.
You know what, man? It's the stupid, simple stuff like that makes me love this business. I mean, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way at all. It's just but it's just ridiculously simple. Like he goes to Facebook groups, finds the big ones, and then hunts out who's got deals that they're bragging about. Yeah, that's a hot market to go.
I did a video. I did the same exact thing. I'm probably releasing it in like a month or two. This guy, he accidentally posted the check, and on the bottom on the memo, it had the address of the deal. And then I just looked it up. I'm like, oh wow. I just looked up the address of the deal, and I'm like, that's a hot zip code too. And I found this whole like little market in like the backwoods of Knoxville, like perfect place, like the perfect zip code. I'm gonna post it, but yeah, DM me at Flip with Rick, and I'll actually share with you what it is, because I'm not in that area, or I'm not virtually wholesaling in that area right now. So yeah, I can give it to you. But it was like, sometimes they'll even post the address, and it's like, hey, free zip code.
Yeah, that's so cool. I think 90% of us are overthinking this business.
Mm-hmm. I have another question pertaining to virtual. When you're pulling your list, do you pull, because I use PropStream as well. When you're pulling your list, do you go by the zip codes? Do you go by the counties, or do you go by the states? Or how exactly are you pulling your data?
Zip codes.
What do you feel is the best way to pull, like when you're using PropStream?
Zip codes.
Zip codes. Okay. Got it.
I can go in a whole hour explanation, but just hottest zip codes, that's it. Some zip codes suck. That's the truth.
Okay. And the hottest zip codes you using list source?
I'm using that. I've been in Port St. Lucie for 4 years. Rick has 18 years of market data. I know which ones work and which ones don't.
Right.
Honestly, there's maybe 15 zip codes in Port St. Lucie, and 90% of my deals are from 4.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Some zip codes work. And I'm learning how to do it with my virtual. Like, I don't have 4 years of like market research for myself. But again, once you find a virtual market, go search, then go to, like, let's say you're doing Charlotte, which Charlotte's not really that. It's kind of good, kind of not. Go search Charlotte deal or Charlotte check on the Facebook group, and then they'll post the deal, or maybe they'll post the zip codes, and then you can find the hottest zip codes that they're posting. And then that's how you can find a hot zip too.
Through Facebook. Got it.
Yeah, Facebook's been killer for me lately.
Facebook is killer. Facebook was made for you, man.
I know.
As a real estate investor, wholesaler, virtual, local, whatever, it is the coolest tool in school. It's really cool. I mean, I love it. People don't believe me when I tell them, put an ad on Facebook, build a paid ad in that zip code, and you'll have people inquiring about your deal. Okay. Yep. Just hit the zip code. Targeted. Like you couldn't do this when Rick got started, but you can do it now.
Facebook's the new Craigslist.
Dude, it's hot. I sell deals. A lot of my deals sell between, I spend $25 to $50 on ad spend. That's really incredible. I feel like, I mean, unbelievable. I couldn't pay somebody to go put out bandit signs for that, really. I mean, it's nuts. And so to neglect a tool like that, you're just crazy. But yeah, Facebook, it's hot. Any other questions out there?
Also, that's how I find most of my tenant buyers for lease options. Facebook ads.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It's great.
Well, I got another question since nobody else is asking. What's a good amount to spend on Facebook ads? Because I am going to implement that in my business. And you can go from $5 on up. What's a decent amount that you would say to spend on Facebook ads?
I
mean, I don't have a budget like yours, or probably
I don't do much. Yeah, I don't do much Facebook ads.
Okay.
I've done some. My ROI is terrible on it. Like I'll spend $5K and only make like 10, which sounds amazing, but it's like for the other stuff it doesn't work.
Right.
This is for the seller side for getting the deals. Is that what you're talking about?
Yep, getting deals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just do a lead intake form on there. Again, I can get really complicated with it, but $5 and then I do it on a bunch of zip codes and a different ad. I can get crazy advanced with it. Again, I didn't add, when I was like 16, I had like a big Shopify Facebook drop shipping store, and I was making like $5,000 a year off of it, like 5 to 10, but like I was only making like 4,000 a year in profit. I kind of quit it. But so I kind of have some experience with Facebook. You got to experiment and see which ones work.
Okay. Got it.
But not one of your ringers for getting property deals.
No.
Yeah.
This basically when you're this position. Basically, is that what you're using it for? Mainly.
No. I do a lot of wholesale, so we just put it on the market, or for wholesale, we got our own cash buyers.
Oh, okay, got you.
But he's finding his tenant buyers on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like when I'm noticing tenant buyers for me is pretty easy. I just put it on there. I don't even do an ad. I just put it in the Facebook marketplace, and that sucker get the rolling real quick.
Oh yeah.
So it's really not a big deal as far as dispo. I was just wondering as far as acquiring the properties, trying to acquire the property.
Yeah, I mean, you can do them pretty well. I'm not the expert. Go check out Chris Chico on YouTube. He's way better than me on that one.
Okay.
Hey, Anthony, I don't know if Anthony can hear or if he's listening in, but Anthony's got a couple deals virtually cooking. One's in Evansville, Indiana. I'd like him to share that with you, Zach, if you would, and see. He was asking me this morning about pricing. Okay. So if Anthony can come on and share a little bit, that'd be great. But are there any other questions before Anthony, maybe if he pops on here? Anything else? Any other questions anywhere? YouTube, if you're in YouTube land or somewhere like that, put it in the chat. I'll try to find you. But if you want to come in here, you can join us at zoomjustin.com. I know it's really tiny. I don't know why, but www.zoomjustin.com, and the password is money. Okay. It doesn't cost money. It's just type it in there. Okay. Come join us. All right. Talking with Zach Ginn today from Port St. Lucie about hacking your local market and your virtual markets, picking markets. He just gave us a golden nugget on picking markets. A lot of people ask me that question. Okay. As far as virtual markets go, how are you marketing besides YouTube in those virtual markets? Are you doing text blasts, or what's your strategy there, Zach?
Yeah, so I do YouTube only for JVs. So only for people bringing me the deals to me.
Okay.
Sellers don't know who I am at all, which is good. When it comes to actual lead gen, number one's direct mail, number two is SMS, and then number three is referrals right now. And we do a lot of other experimental stuff that we're kind of testing out right now. RVMs are illegal in Florida. I'm trying to get around it. Not worth a fine. So I'm playing around with it. But right now, SMS and direct mail are top like ones that I actually have to go out and get the leads myself.
Okay. I use SMS a lot. Are you using ringless voicemail much, or any?
It's illegal in Florida.
Oh yeah, they really cracked down on that stuff down there.
Oh, two guys got $50,000 fines. So I'm good.
$50,000.
Yeah,
Yikes! Ouch.
I'm good.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding. Anthony,
Hey,
share that deal with Zach from now. Anthony's in Connecticut. He got a deal over in Evansville, Indiana.
yeah, I'm in that little tiny state. If you drive through and you blink, you missed us. But let me revisit something from before.
Can you turn your camera on, Anthony? Or maybe not?
Not on this PC.
Okay. All right. No problem.
So, did I hear correctly? SMS is illegal in Florida?
No, RVM.
Oh, ringless voicemail? Okay.
Yeah.
So, Justin, what did you want me to mention about that little deal in Evansville? I got that off of a Facebook campaign that I've been running nationwide, excluding a few states that are a bit of a pain in the I won't say it, pain in the neck to work in. But I've been picking up a couple of nuggets here and there, some motivated sellers that want to sell their properties. And this little deal in Evansville is basically a small house, 3-bed, 1-bath, 1,200 and change square feet. Pretty much move-in condition. I figure $5,000 in just little bit of money to doll the place up, maybe run through and paint the rooms. I got it under contract for $62,350, which is probably a little higher than I should have paid. But if the estimate's right, the place could be worth 85 to 95, depending on the kind of work you put into it to modernize it. So I've been trying to figure out what I want to do with this. Do I want to find a landlord buyer, buy and hold investor, or maybe wholesale it? But I just got this one under contract yesterday. Just started putting some ads up for it, and we're getting a little traction with people that are interested in the property. But again, it's a small property, a little bit dated, but it has potential.
So this property sits about a half a block from the war zone. So not much crime on this particular street, but just a street over. Okay. It's pretty bad.
It's like there's an imaginary wall.
Yeah. So with an ARV of about, or fair market value of about 85 to 90, somewhere in there, and he got it under contract for in the 60s, it doesn't need a whole lot of repairs. It's livable, but it needs cosmetic upgrades because it's not as pretty as some of today's houses are. So that's the problem. But it's sound. All the 5 major systems are in good shape. So the question is he's got it under contract. He's got 45 days or something, 30 days. He was wondering pricing. What do you think, Zach? Because this isn't a traditional ugly house kind of deal, but yet it's kind of ugly, but it's not real ugly. It's livable, but it's not modern. So
it's a good rental investment.
Yeah. What's your advice on that, Zach? Because we run into these deals where the pricing, it doesn't fit the ugly house paradigm exactly. And it's not a lease option either. So any advice on that one, Zach?
Yeah. So I got a pen and paper here. So the ARV you said is 90.
If you do a lot of cosmetic upgrades to it,
Okay.
The house is built in 1945, and it's probably about 15, 20 years dated, kitchen, and the exterior is definitely dated. It's aluminum siding instead of vinyl, but it has new windows, new roof, new gutters. It just looks a little dated, but it is literally in move-in condition.
And what are the repairs?
There's a small retaining wall out front. It has a few bricks out of place. It needs a little masonry work. And if you don't like the woman's taste in colors, you could go through and paint the interior of the house more neutral colors. That's about it. The basement does get wet from time to time. Looking at some of the other properties in the neighborhood, some of the comps, I could see they have their washers and dryers up off the floor in the basement. So I think it's common to the area.
Okay, but Anthony, what are the repairs to get it to 90,000?
Oh, well, that would be new siding, probably a new kitchen.
Cost?
20. I don't know what the cost of repairs are out in Evansville, Indiana, but maybe 25 grand.
Okay. And what is the contract price?
62,350.
Okay. Yeah, got a problem there.
My thought at that price, Zach, was just to find a tenant, landlord buyer to buy and hold this property and rent it out as is.
Okay. Would you close on it yourself then?
No. I don't want to own a house in Indiana.
So you would try to do a lease option.
Not a lease option. I'm just trying to wholesale it, basically.
Then you would have to close on it.
No, I'm looking to do an assignment.
Okay.
But it's more of a retail property than a wholesale beater. That's what I mean by wholesale.
This doesn't look like a wholesale deal at all.
Yeah, it's really not.
Okay.
So my idea here is to market this to that buy and hold investor, and then they can rent it out for $850 a month, maybe a little more, and have a nice cash flow from it.
I mean, maybe. I mean, it's honestly, the numbers don't work on a wholesale there.
No.
And if it needs repairs already, I mean, you can try to market to a buy and hold guy, but the buy and hold guy is going to want a discount. And if the thing is they buy it for 70 and they got to put 20, if they got to put 20 into it, then it's at 90. I mean, the retail on that's 70 and you're at 62. I mean, I think the seller's just, let me get my phone here.
Well, on a traditional wholesale, sure. If you want to reside the house and doll it up to get it to that 90, it's going to cost a little bit of money. But if somebody wants to just rent it out the way it is, maybe throw a coat of paint on the rooms on the interior and fix that brick wall in the front, there's really not much to do. About 5,000 in repairs or less to get that house rented in a week. So if I could find the right buyer that just wants to rent it as is and have a cash flow, that was my thought.
I mean, what do you think that property is sell for on the market right now? Just throw it on the market.
As is?
Yep.
Well, I'm hoping to find a buyer for 10,000 more than I have it under contract for, 72, 75.
Okay. I'm talking about like MLS.
That's a good question.
Comparable souls
Yeah.
would be a good indicator.
Yeah, I didn't look at houses in similar condition when I did my comps. I just looked for the ARV, the completed comps that were already marketable.
Okay. Here's the problem. From the numbers you tell me, if the thing is worth ARVs 90 and they got to put 20 into it to get to 90, it seems like the market value is 70. That's what I'm saying. What do you think, Justin?
20 sounds like it's pretty steep on repairs. Is it 20?
If you're going to reside it,
Okay.
maybe do a new retaining wall and a new kitchen, but the kitchen actually doesn't even look bad. It's in good shape. It's just a little dated.
That's a picture of the house, but you say it has a new roof and everything.
New roof, new windows, new gutters.
Here, let me grab a charger really quick for my computer before it dies. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, take your time.
I want to keep this party going.
But you
Yeah,
see
I think it's
that retaining wall out front needs a little bit of work. There's near the
right.
stairs, there are a few bricks out of place. It's really
Okay.
not bad.
No, not bad. No, doesn't look bad. At least it looks like it's leaning out a little bit there. Yeah, but besides that, it's just a dated house,
It's
right?
dated,
So
right.
it's not unlivable. So yeah.
And it's more dated on the outside than on the inside.
What I recommend doing is advertising this property without a purchase price, right? And just getting your best offer in the door. And then you may have to go back and renegotiate with the seller.
Possibly.
I don't know, but I think Zach is onto something, because the fair market value of it's probably in the region of 70, 65.
Well, I'm trying to help you, Anthony.
I hear you.
So no, what I do is go to the seller and ask them this question. Hey, Mrs. Seller, Mr. Seller, how much do you think this thing will sell for on the MLS, on the market? No, 75, because they're going to give you something stupid high, right? So they're going to tell me 75. So what I want to do is say, hey, can you get a calculator out with me? 75. Say, all right, so what's a 6% commission? What's that? So you're at about 70,500. You got to pay all these closing costs and stuff like that. So at 70,000, you got to pay 6%. You're at 65.8, right? After paying 6%. And how much your closing costs? $2,000. So that means after everything, you're paying 63,000. That's what you would literally net on the market with a realtor. So you're at 63. I'm out at 62. So I'm literally just paying it like on the MLS. It needs a little more work. And then you just keep talking, building rapport. You got to get a reduction, because a buy and hold guy, why would they go on the market? Because at 62, that's literally them just buying it on the market. So, or at 70, they're literally they can go in the MLS and get something way easier. So the only reason they go to a wholesaler is because you guys have deep discounts. So you're definitely gonna get a reduction. Like, for that to work for me, I would have to be at like 45, honestly. And for a wholesale deal, because buy and hold guys want discounts. So you can kind of skirt around it if you want, but like, you're going to have to get a discount on it. Like, unless they want financing, then you're good.
It would be helpful to look up the cash buyers that have bought deals in that area and find out what those deals are and what they paid for them.
Go to PropStream.
PropStream will help you do that.
I'm looking to help the seller.
Give you an idea.
The seller's trying to move out of state. She's a nice lady. I'd like to help her. I'm not looking to make a killing on it. If I could pick up 5 on this deal, that'd be great. But
yeah,
I figured I may have to go back and renegotiate at some point.
Yeah, I renegotiate a lot. Zach, do you renegotiate a lot?
No. I think I renegotiated once, maybe. That's just because I do a lot of Jar Martinez, like sales stuff. I always get the seller like ready to go when I go to the appointment. They're ready to make a decision when I'm there. Yeah. They're conditioned. They're ready to go. I don't renegotiate at all.
I see.
Kind of how I am.
Yeah,
I put pen to paper. I actually put the sellers like, I'm like, hey, like, Mr. Seller, how would it feel like if I actually get you $45,000 all cash? Like, how would it feel? Like, you got to do the whole kit and caboodle on your appointment. So same thing when I do virtual, I do the same thing. So I kind of get a good enough deal where I shake hands and I do it. That's just kind of how I do it. But I would definitely get a reduction on that. Go to PropStream and literally go to that zip code, pull all the flippers in the area, and then just go text them. Text like 200 flippers. Got a smoking deal and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
You'll get plenty.
Make your best offer, huh? Yeah.
So I appreciate the advice, fellas.
Yeah. That's I wanted to talk about that one because it doesn't fit the paradigm of an ugly house, but yet it's not really a lease option either. And it's somewhere stuck in the middle. And so it needs to go one way or another. Either you need a almost like a retail buyer, or you need a reduction in price. So Yeah, interesting deal. We run across those a lot, man. I run across a lot of deals like that where, it's close, but it's not quite. And sometimes you can get creative and do something, and sometimes you can't, right? Am I right or am I wrong? Sometimes you have to walk away.
Oh, you don't have to walk away. You can literally, like what I do is Rick owns a real estate brokerage. I got a lot of
There you
realtors in
go.
my family. I'll just split the commission with him.
There you go.
I get deals, $500,000 houses. Like I accidentally text and they're like, I need to sell it. I'm like, and they obviously won't work because it's too nice of a house. Give to them. What's 3% of 500 grand? Then I'll make half of that. It's like what? Like 15, like 7K. It's a wholesale deal.
Yeah.
But I give it to
awesome.
killers. Like they gotta be killer realtors that will like close that person. So
Yeah. Like Rick Gentry. He's in the room. He's one of those killer realtors. Brandon Simmons here. He says Zillow rental app is great. Another app he likes to use is Landglide. You can look for LLCs owned properties and around the area. And he says don't be afraid to renegotiate. He's had to before. If there is a conventional or VA loan, just wrap the existing mortgage. I don't know if the guy's open to creative solutions on that. Anthony didn't share that with us. Is that? I assume that's what you're referring to.
It sounds like the lady wants to leave already. So if
She
she
needs
wants
the
to
cash.
leave, then she might. Oh, she needs the cash. I thought you said she wanted. Well,
She needs the cash.
Is she gonna leave after the cash? Oh, so she's not leaving until she sells.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Interesting. Are there any questions here in the Zoom room? Any comments or questions for Zach? What were you going to say, Arturo?
Yeah, as far as I make it a strategy to always renegotiate a couple of thousand, 3 or 4 every time. And that on itself, I do it on every deal. That's probably an extra 70K that I make just throughout the year, just by sending a quick text. Hey, the inspection came back. It has a couple of things. It's not cost me 7. Let's do half. And whatever I get, I make it a habit on every deal to renegotiate.
Arturo, why are you doing a couple thousand? Why just go big? I've done it a couple times. I've done
in my area, like your regular fees is like 30. My regular fee is probably like a 15. It's a smaller market. My regular ARV is probably like 150. Your probably ARV is probably like 500 or 300K. So yeah, it'll be too deep of a discount for the end buyer to make it work. But yeah, and as far as me, I have a mental block as far as going virtual, and that's why I created like a little joint venture so that I can open new markets, but override my mental block of going virtual.
Okay.
I got a question, Justin, for Zach.
Yeah.
When you're virtual, every market is different as far as repair and repair costs. How do you calculate that?
Repair costs?
Yep.
I mean,
So is it different in San Diego than it is in Kansas City? Is that what you mean?
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
Because we know it is. It's a big difference.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of in the camp where I like to just say, hey, what would a cash buyer pay for this? And then just reverse engineer it. I don't get cute or anything with ARVs or repairs. Hey, I think I get a cash buyer. You'll probably pay 100. Let's lock it up for 85.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah.
15.
That's intelligent. I mean, it's like, what are you going to do this deal for? You have to think, what will my buyer be willing to pay? Right? Because that's the end goal. It's not just to look at houses.
Oh.
That's super smart. Yeah.
So as far as negotiating and learning to talk to sellers, how did you learn those skills, especially being a young guy? Like, how did you read some books on negotiating, or did you take some classes or courses, or how did you get to that?
I only did one thing. And I just put 10,000 hours into talking to sellers.
Okay.
That's it. That's all you need. You need 10,000 hours. It took me 4 years to do it. And do the math. 7 days a week. You can get it pretty done. What, 6 hours a day, 7 days a week? I mean, cold calling 5 hours a day. I got pretty good at talking to people. You literally just got to put 10,000 hours in. It's like Michael Jordan sports. If you do enough 3-pointers, you're going to be an NBA player. Same thing.
So basically cold calling.
No.
To warm yourself up to talking to sellers all the time.
I mean, you can do cold calling. You can go physically on appointments.
Right.
Drive for dollars, door knocking, everything. Bandit signs. Just spend 10,000 hours talking to a seller.
Okay, gotcha.
And you, at the end of that, it should be super easy.
Gotcha.
Hopefully you get your 10,000 hours in with more than just one seller.
Well, I will hope so. But I get what he's saying. Because I do feel like if you, the more people you talk to, the more comfortable you get, and then you start learning what to say, what not to say, and like you said, don't throw the price out there. You know, sometimes they make you throw the price out there.
A book's not going to help you. I mean, a book can help a little, but you actually doing it. Like, there's no magic pill. Just go out there and do it. Do the work. It's like weightlifting. You just got to weightlift. You can't read a bunch of books on weightlifting. You just go do it. Right.
Right. Okay,
Right.
got it.
Right. You don't learn how to ride a bike by reading a book. Right. That's a book. I think that's a book. I think there is a book called that. You don't learn. Who wrote that? Who wrote that book?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's so true. You just got to do it, guys. I think you should. Who did?
You can't teach how to ride. You can't teach someone how to ride a bike in a seminar or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Sandler training.
Sandler.
Whoever the Sandler guy is.
Yeah, Sandler sales. Yeah.
Yeah, John Martinez is kind of like, he kind of used a lot of Sandler systems.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you should practice with the phone on sellers. Michael Batista says you should just go to Craigslist and just start calling sellers just for practice. That's one way of getting it. But I think you know when you're getting good at it, when you feel like you're getting bored with it. When it becomes boring, that's when you're getting good. You got to work through that boring part, and then you become really good. Really good.
But you figure out, like, the more time you do it, the more you figure out the person's actually motivated or not. Like, it takes me maybe a minute to figure out if someone's actually legit, like, want to sell their house or not. You ask them the right questions, you're good to go. Yeah.
I talk about doing it in 3 minutes. But yeah, and getting good at this doesn't mean that you convert everybody. It doesn't mean that. What it means that you get rid of the ones really quickly, like that aren't qualified or disqualifying themselves. They're not motivated. They're not really interested in working on the kind of terms or offer that you have. So you get off the phone. That's part of being good, is going through all of those real quick. That's probably Zach, one of the hardest lessons to learn, I think.
So Zach, do you do a lot of follow-ups on those ones that are not motivated? Do you follow up with them, or because you doing such a large volume, you keep it pushing?
I'll tell you a story to answer that. I had one deal I did, I think 6 months ago. I followed up with the same guy bi-weekly. My acquisitions guy did bi-weekly for the past 8 months. And I finally got the deal. So every single person gets a follow-up at least once a month. I don't care if you told me to go F myself. You're in my podio. You're getting followed up on.
Gotcha.
Every month. And they'll strike. There's a lot of money in those follow-ups. You don't throw them away, please.
Okay.
I'll cry. Like throwing away dead leads is the worst because they're not dead. Those things resurrect. It's amazing.
Okay.
I feel like every deal I've ever closed, Zach, maybe you have a different opinion or experience, but almost every deal I've ever closed, I felt like it died right before it closed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like the nature of the biz. It's not always as smooth sailing as we wish it would be. No. Sometimes you got to follow up with a guy. Yep. That's right. Good questions. Podio. that answers somebody else's question. Somebody else was probably wondering, I wonder what the CRM is for a nice professional wholesaler's business. There you go. Podio.
Most people use Podio. It's free too. To
Yep.
to a certain extent.
Yeah, I find it to be kind of a learning curve though for me. It's a bit more complicated than some of the others.
Yeah, just go to Flip with Rick and search Podio. I got like a bunch of views on that one. I literally just walked with you how to set it up for free for a wholesaling front to back. Have a cash buyer CRM, sellers, have a little whiteboard. Go from there.
There's an answer to somebody's prayer right there. If you're trying to figure out Podio or you want to set Podio up, that's the way to get it right there. Go watch Zach do it. He'll show you step by step. Any other questions here in the Zoom room? Craig Burns says, how do you find landlord cash buyers? Landlord cash buyers. I'm assuming Craig's asking this because the thought is that cash buyer landlords will buy at 80% all in, 85, maybe 90 sometimes. I think he's thinking about that deal in Evansville, but I don't know. Maybe. It depends on what the rent is. I don't remember.
The rent is about $850 to $900 a month.
Ooh. See, that's
Pretty
tight.
good.
It's tight, but it's close to the right neighborhood. Yeah. I mean, 1% rule, right? That's close to a bad neighborhood though, so it might need to be a smidge more than 1%.
I'm hoping not to have to renegotiate. I'd rather take it out of my end to a certain extent, just because I'm a nice guy.
I understand. And we've seen both sides of the fence here today on that topic, and both sides have merit for sure. Yeah, that's a possibility, I guess. You never know. Throw it out there and see what happens.
Yeah, maybe I'll get lucky, maybe not.
One of the best things you can get if you don't get an offer is some really good feedback, especially if it's a virtual deal, right? So
exactly. The market is going to price that, and I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Zach kind of said this earlier. He said, basically, it's worth what, in country boy terms, what somebody's willing to pay for it. So don't get caught up on all the fancy ARVs and repair costs and this and that. What's this dude willing to pay for it? That's what I want to know. Yeah. Right.
Be careful of cap rates too. There's a saying out there, if your cap rate's high enough, you're going to catch a cap. So be careful.
Your story is very inspiring, Zach.
Very
Thanks.
Much so. Brandon Simmons says,
big question, Zach.
Yeah, go ahead.
Have you heard of going full retail like a hotel, but getting paid, having the seller add you to the disbursement fund form?
Say that one more time. You cut out.
Sorry, let me. Getting, how when you go to hotel, right? You have to close on it, right? Yep. But if you don't want to close on it, I've heard like 3 or 4 people saying that they can get paid if they add themselves to the disbursement form, where the lender pays. The lender doesn't know who's getting paid. Let's say you're selling the house for 100, the buyer's getting 100. You add yourself to the disbursement form for an extra 20, but then you close hotel with the lender, and then you get paid through the disbursement form without having to double close, so that you can be on title.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that, but that seems like an added cost. It's just another way of doing it. I get hard money in my wholesales, but it's expensive. We made enough money wholesaling. We just got cash.
I get you. I was just trying to see if you had ran into somebody saying that, because if I can do that, it's just like, for me, my mental block is negotiating with the seller to see, you're getting 100, sir. I'm getting 35,000, and the end buyer's paying 135 with the bank. It's just that can be an issue as well. Maybe you have really good negotiating skills that you can have the seller agree to you adding yourself to the disbursement form and seeing that you're getting 35K just for.
Oh no! Anything over 30,000 on a wholesale, I double close every single time.
How much is your average cost to do the double close?
It depends if we bring our funds in or not.
What's the number? What's the dollar figure where you go from assignment to double close?
Usually 25 to 30. It depends on
Okay.
the seller. If the seller's like kind of on edge,
Yeah.
there's some sellers out there just like, there's some guys who are like, whatever, here, 20K, whatever. Like they don't care. And you got people that are like, they're analyzing the contract with a magnifying glass. They got 2 lawyers looking at everything. It's like, I better double close this one.
Yeah, those you gotta be careful now.
I had a hard money lender
title
kick out a
companies
deal one time. It was over 10K. He said he wouldn't fund anything over 10K, and I was like, dang, that sucks. I'm sorry, Arturo. Go ahead, man.
Sometimes you have to bring your own money, as far as it's probably hard money or transactional. Do you know of title companies that do it with the end buyers funds, cash funds, to fund the first transaction, or that's kind of like once in a blue moon to find that title company?
You can find that title company. Please look at your laws. If it's not legal in your state, don't do it. I don't want to get sued talking about that, but you could find a title company. Maybe depends if it's legal or not in your state, county, municipality. You always got to check.
Title company by title company.
Just see if the title company will do it and if it's legal. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Just gonna have to look.
Brandon Simmons says, see if your city or municipality makes landlords register their rental properties. Here in Maricopa County, which is Phoenix, Arizona area, they make landlords register their rental properties. I was able to get a list of over 90,000. Wow. Whoa. There you go. One thing about all of the rental properties in the area, those are your landlords. So he's got a list of all the landlords. That's where your landlord buyers are. Boom. Incredible tip. With phone numbers.
I got a question on that, Justin. How do you get the list? Ask them, how do you get the list? Because I know every state is different.
Kansas City, I don't know if it's official yet, but I think now you have to register in Kansas City, but it just started. Independence, Missouri, you have to do it. It just started like a year or two ago.
Right.
So I don't know how many of the municipalities around your area here, my area where we live, because we're both from the same place. I don't know if they've got that working quite like we want yet, but maybe. But I think all you would have to do is call down to the city and fill out the form. They've got a form you'll have to fill out. And what is it? The Freedom of Information Act or something? Is that what it is? It gives you the ability. Yeah. I think I've heard it called the Sunshine Act or something maybe before.
Well, it's called Open Records.
FOIA.
Yeah. Here it's called Open Records.
Open Records, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to
landlord list and your county.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Arturo. You got muted.
Just put like landlord list and put your county and see what pops up in Google.
Okay.
Yeah. It won't be free though. I'll tell you that. Okay. They'll charge you here in Kansas City. I believe they charge by the page. Okay. So it'll be 15 cents a page or something like that.
Right.
And it'll be X amount of pages, 275 pages. So I don't know. It'll cost probably $200 or $300 is what my guess is here in Kansas City. Brandon Simmons says he paid $400 to $500 there in Arizona, but he's in Phoenix. I think it's larger than Kansas City.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Good tips. Yeah. Same place. Is that where you get the water shutoffs and stuff?
Yep. I mean, that's where I've gotten it.
I think that's the same process. I think. Yeah.
Okay. I'll try that. Thanks.
I have called down there. I don't know if anybody has any experience with this. Feel free to chime in, but I've called down to the city, some of these around here before and asked them. And I'll tell you, you have to follow up. Okay. Because sometimes they don't know. The lady that gets on the phone with you down at the courthouse or whatever, right. She don't know what you're talking about. Okay. So you kind of have to, weed through that to find the right place. It might take a minute, might be a little frustrating, but man, it's a list that's probably nobody else has for the most part, would be my guess. I do have a student that got a water shutoff list here in Kansas City, so I know that's possible here. But lots of good ideas for getting lists, guys, especially if you're looking for landlords. That's a great idea. And they're doing that in a lot of places now, right? Making landlords register. Are they doing that in Port St. Lucie?
Nope. Florida's pretty, like, our cities are, Port St. Lucie's pretty conservative on that side, which they don't like a lot of regulation. And then sometimes they're big on regulation, but no, not there. Maybe in Broward counties or Miami, but not where we're at.
So any other questions? Any last questions? Let's try to wrap it up if there's no other questions or anything. But if you have questions, now's your chance. Feel free. I want to welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us too. It's been awesome having Zach here, Zach Ginn, and Anthony, and Charles, and Larry, and LaShonda, and Rick, and Sandra, and Sean, and Steven, and Victor, and several others that popped in and popped out. And then a lot of people watching on YouTube too. So thank you. Thank you for watching. It means a lot to me. Lots of love for you. Hope you're having a good weekend. Any last questions before we wrap it up for today? Anything for Zach? Local market, devastating your local market. Give us one gold nugget, man. What's one way we can really start attacking our local market? Bandit signs. What's something else? That's how you got started, but give us a gold nugget, can you? There's that.
If you guys have no money, I would cold call. 100%. Go Zen call, do a 12-line dialer, 10-line dialer, and just cold call. I think cold calling's really kind of making a comeback now. I think that's a really good one right now. Texting is getting more regulation, so I don't know how that's going to be in the next couple of years. I've talked to some of the owners of the biggest texting platforms out there, and it's just getting more regulation. So cold calling is making a really good comeback. I know RVMs do very well. Driving for dollars is absolutely one of the best things you can do, because in a competitive market, I know everyone tells me, Zach, I'm in such a competitive market. I'm like, what's the one list you can't buy? A driving for dollars list. So Go after it and go do it. I know people, get your friends to it. I know guys that are doing they got 4 friends driving for dollars, 3 hours a day, and they're doing really well. Cold call that list, do a direct mail on that list, and just go after it. I mean, this business it's not easy, but the tools are there for free for you to absolutely do it. There's no excuse not to make 6 figures a year in wholesaling in profits in this business. Like all the information is there for free. Like it's amazing. And you just got to think about it. It's like, hey, if I dedicate 1 year to wholesaling and I actually make it, I make $100K a year, I can quit my job. Think of the life you could live if you do that. And if you have the drive to do it, you will. But it's going to take action, and action is the number one thing you have to have in this business. You don't need money. You don't need a college degree in this business. You just need action, the will to do it, and air in your lungs. That's all you need. Make $100K a year.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And that spirit about you of not giving up, because you talk to a homeowner, you sent them a contract, they said yes over the phone, and then they ghosted you. Next thing you heard was they accepted somebody else's offer and the deal is gone. Oh boy, I give up. This is not for me. I hear that a lot, guys. And let me tell you something. You probably lost the deal just basically due to your inexperience. That's it. That's probably it. Probably some little tiny thing that you could have done, shoulda, woulda, didn't. Okay, but now you know. Now you know. Keep going, guys. The next one won't be so hard, and it'll come together. Okay, so you can't give up like that. You can't quit. You got to get out there and get busy and crush it. Crush it. Massive action. Consistency. All that stuff, right? Consistency. Man, that's a tough one. But if you can ever tackle the consistency problem and conquer it, you'll never, ever regret it. I promise you that.
I'll tell you something, Justin, that I struggle with, honestly, is pulling the data. And I think a lot of it has to do with because our market is not as big as maybe where Zach is at. pulling information to be able to contact these people. That's been my struggle.
I only have 200,000 people in my market.
200,000.
Yeah.
That's a small city.
Yeah. There's no excuse.
So okay. Okay.
So where do we, like everybody's beaten to death these tired landlords,
Right.
the vacant absentee owners.
Absentee, right? Because it's like you pull in the same
Yeah.
people. A lot of times when I pull that next month or whenever, it's like a lot of them be the same people.
So straighten us out on this, Zach. Where are we missing it?
Probates.
Okay, so probates. So I went to our local county to do probates, right?
Mm-hmm.
And about right during the COVID, what they changed, it used to be that you can go in there and you can sit down at their computer and pull up the probates, right? You get all the information. But what they did was they changed it to where the case is closed, so you can't see any of the information as far as the, like when the case is over and they say, okay, well, such and such, he inherited 3 properties or 1 property or whatever. They changed it to where that's closed, so you can't even see that information anymore. So how would you go about getting probates if you have no access to be able to see the end result of it?
LaShawna, you just told me the most exciting thing I've ever heard for your market. I'm going to go after your market now. If it's that difficult to get probates in your market, that means if you crack the code to get the probates, you will literally be the only person maybe in Kansas City to get probates. Can you imagine how awesome that would be?
Okay.
Think about that. How awesome it would be to be like one of the 2 people to get probates in your city.
Got it.
Absolutely destroy it. So what I want you to do is you're going to have to work extremely hard to get the probates. You're going to have to call the clerk of the court, be best friends with the ladies or the people there, and say, as a taxpayer, I need to know the probates. And you got to keep hammer it, threaten FOIA stuff, and eventually you'll get it. I have some counties I have one county I work in. There's only 2 people that pull probates. It's a lawyer who does it for marketing,
right,
and me. That's it.
Okay.
And make good money doing it. So if you can be in that situation, it's the most exciting thing possible. So I would be hammering it. I would spend 30 minutes a day calling some and you'll crack it. Same thing with code violations. I have some counties like, we don't have a code violations list. I'm like, this whole deal, you gave me a letter saying I had a code violation. So you obviously have a list. And they're like, well, we have a list, but we don't give it out. I'm like, well, I'm a taxpayer. And they say no. I keep calling every single day, and I get the code violations emailed to me. Only person that I know as an investor that does that. So that's the best thing you literally told me all day for you. It's awesome. So you got to keep hammering it.
All right. Thank you.
Talk to other people in Kansas City that have pulled probates. They'll probably help you out too.
Okay.
There's a whole business model right there for you.
Right.
Are you dripping on them people with direct mail, Zach? Or are you just cold calling?
Probates, I mail letters, and we'll cold call probates too.
There you go. There's your business model right there.
It's not a lot, though.
Tell us about where we can connect with you. How can we connect with you? I know there's folks out there watching that have been hanging on with us for a long time, wanting to know, how do I email Zach? How do I get in touch with him? Or how do I reach out to him? I got a deal in, Tecumseh, New Mexico. I don't know what to do with. I think Zach is my man. How do I get in touch with Zach?
Yeah, just go to Zach Ginn on Facebook, at Flip with Rick on Instagram, and then you just go to Flip with Rick on YouTube, Zach Ginn on YouTube. I got 2 channels. I don't know why, but I got 2. But Flip with Rick's the biggest one, and just contact me from there. I love to help it. Support at Flip with Rick. Send all your deals there. My acquisitions people will probably talk to you about it. It's got to be a deal. We'll cut you off pretty quick if it's not a deal, Because if you send me 10 and they're not a deal, it's just a waste of our time. We're just like, don't send us any more deals. We're pretty bad with that. Like, we're just like, you got to send it to me if it's a discount, then I'll help you out. So that's kind of how we do it. But hey, at Flip with Rick, that's kind of it. I just want to give and help people out. I don't sell on there. I don't have a course. There's no gimmicks. I just try to help people out, and that's it.
Yeah. Check it out, guys. I've been there. You guys should go too. Guys and gals, everybody alike should go. Flipwithrick.com. Check it out. There is a course on there for probates that Rick put together.
Oh yeah, Rick does that. I don't do. I have no idea.
I kind of looked up some reviews on it and everything, man, and it sounds like it's legitimate stuff. So
he's been selling that. He's been selling that for like 8-10 years. I don't know. He's been selling that forever.
So if you're interested in the probate game a little more and you want to get some information, that's available over there at flipwithrick.com. But lots of great information for you, even if you're curious about other aspects of virtual and local real estate investing. Okay, he talks about that too. He's like, we're not on the website. We're not really training folks to be real estate wholesalers. We're training them to be real estate investors, because there's more to the game of real estate than just an assignment and where you make some money, and then you start over. Wah, wah. That's the worst part, starting over.
Oh, yeah.
I already spent all that money. Oh my God, I got to get another deal. What do I do? And you go back to the drawing board, pick up the phone, Yes. So lots of good information over there. Check it out. Flipwithrick.com. Zach, thanks for being here today. Really appreciate it. You're a remarkable dude. We love you around here, man. Anytime you want to come back, man, you are more than welcome to. Okay.
Sweet.
We consider you a friend around here. So any last questions or anything for Zach before we call it a day? All right. Today is Signature Saturday, guys. So go out there, follow up on your leads for the week, and make offers. Right? Even in a high cracked, pitchy voice, it's okay. It's okay. It works. It works when you work it.
Hey, Justin, I do have one quick question before we leave. When you SMSing, when they say make an offer, some of them text back and say make an offer or whatever. Do you send them an offer through SMS, or do you take the time out to write it up and send it to them the other way?
I do neither. I personally do neither, and I'll let Zach answer this too, but I personally do neither of those. I won't make an offer because somebody says make an offer. I will call them and talk to them and qualify them or disqualify them in 2-3 minutes. Okay. And then I'll ask them what kind of offer they want to accept today. Okay. Because I have no clue what kind of offer they want when they just say make offer. I am literally shooting in the dark here.
Right.
And I'll tell the seller that, well, make an offer. You're the guy interested in the house. Just make me an offer. Okay, well, let me get some information from you here. What's going on? How long you lived in the house and why are you getting rid of it? You've been there 10 years. It sounds like home. Why not just put it on the market? Why haven't you rented it out? Well, I need to know what's going on before I can make an offer.
Okay.
Zach, you got any to add to that, man?
I do the same thing. Verbatim.
Yeah, same thing. Can't make blind offers, guys. Can't make blind offers. I wish you could. I wish I was the guy that came up with the system where you could send out 100,000 offers a day and just whoever accepts your offer, that's your deal. But I've never cracked that code.
What do you mean?
Can do that?
Look.
Show us, man.
Yeah, hold on. Give me a second. We have so we have Rick has this too. It's not really a sales thing, but we literally give This is what we do direct mail. We don't sell it. It's absolutely for free. But it's called the Rapid Offer System. You can check it out. So this is the front of the postcard, which we basically, can I share my screen? Just show it.
Yeah, go
Probably
for
be
it, man.
easier.
Yeah.
Where is it? Yeah, it's right here. That's just funny you mentioned that. All right. So right here, we literally just give Rick actually did this. So the average response rate on direct mail is what? 1%, right?
Or
you guys?
less, maybe a 0.5%.
Yeah. So what we basically did was Rick basically decided, he said, you know what? See, is this it? Hold on. I don't get this live. Here it is. Let me just download this.
Can you share screens? Or maybe I need to make you a co-host.
No, it's right here. So we decided like, hey, why don't we just give an offer on a postcard? And so that's literally what we do. So we send like tens of thousands of these out. We get about a 2 to 4% response rate. And we've doubled the amount of deals we've done. And we got people, I partnered up with Open Letter Marketing on it. And literally like I gave out my ad copy for free. And that's what we do. I'm not selling it, but like I'm just giving you an FYI for everyone watching this. For direct mail, you can just send out thousands of offers like this and get people calling you saying, hey, that's an interesting offer. The reason why it works so well is the offers are a little above what you'll actually put under contract for. So you'll get a really high response rate. And then you just call them, get the appointment, and work your way back from there and then get your deals. It's killer.
Everybody screenshot their device. Hey, they can go to the website and get this though, right?
Just go to openlettermarketing.com. Just go from there. I don't sell it. You just go order it if you want. But that's just
openlettermarketing.com.
Yeah, they're the second biggest mail house in the country.
That's cool. There you go,
We
guys.
send tens of thousands of offers, direct mail.
There you go. But you still have to work it out on the phone with them, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. So there you go. That's how you do it. 100,000 at a time.
Oh, I don't do 100,000 a month, but I wish I could, but that's too much direct mail to answer.
Yeah, that's a lot of money too. 100,000. Wow. Wowie zowie. But great advice and great copy to share with us too, man. Super good idea. I think a lot of people are going to steal that idea. You're going to find You're going to have that postcard flying around everywhere now, all across the country.
Of course.
I hope so. We want to hear some good positive stories too. So bring your stories and come back and visit with us next week. If you're out there watching, listening in, and share with us your victories. Share with us your struggles even. That's okay. That's what we're here to do. We're here to help you on a Saturday morning. So we love you. Thank you for being a part of the thing here today. RealEstateWholesalersClub.com if you want to check me out. If you want to check out Zach, you can go to flipwithrick.com. Zach, thanks for being here, man.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it, dude. You're an awesome guy, and I'm glad I know you. I'm very, very thankful to know
Likewise.
you. So you're welcome back anytime, sir. I hope you do come back. And until then, man, take care of yourself and keep making money. Keep crushing it, dude. Crushing it.
Thanks.
All right, everybody. I'll see you next week. All right. VIP Q&As every day, but next Saturday we'll be right here again. All right. Love you guys. Stay safe out there. All right. Bye-bye.